Senator Ojienda to contribute its motion.
Mr. Speaker, I will be very brief. Mr. Speaker, I will be very brief in supporting the National Assembly bills, Amendment Bill 2024 to the IEBC, Mr. Speaker, for a number of reasons. Mr. Speaker, number one, the question of delimitation of boundaries under Article 89(5) of the Constitution is governed by time frames. And it is not in doubt, Mr. Speaker, sir, that it is time that a boundary review be undertaken in this country so that the 290 constituencies can be reviewed and the wards that we have in the country can be reviewed so that new boundaries are set. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is clear that boundaries, either through all boundaries, Mr. Speaker, at the focal point of devolution. They define, Mr. Speaker, sir, matters of employment for the population. They define allocation of monies for purposes of budget, and therefore it's an important function that must be undertaken. Mr. Speaker, sir, thirdly, wards are important for the functioning of counties. In my own county, Kisumu County, we have 35 wards, and many of those wards should be up for review. Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to address another question, Mr. Speaker, sir. Of the 35 wards, there are wards that are like constituencies. North Nyakach ward, for instance, should be a constituency, and I believe the boundaries review processes that will invite views will find that some of these wards need to be divided so that we have more wards. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, sir, and I want to address my county, Kisumu. We have constituencies that need to be split into further constituencies. Kanyagwal constituency has not been formally made into a constituency because of the need for this process. And that is why I support this process. Kisumu East constituency has a population that would ensure, Mr. Speaker, that it is split into two constituencies. Kisumu Central constituency, Mr. Speaker, sir, has over 200,000 voters. Also needs to be split into a second constituency. Mr. Speaker, sir, the framework under Article 89(5), 89(6), and 89(7) of the Constitution is timeless and should be exercised as the Constitution defines. On the question, Mr. Speaker, sir, of the inclusive panel proposed by the increment of the panel from 7 to 9, I support the finding of the increment as set out in the NADCO report. Mr. Speaker, sir, the representation of the Law Society of Kenya is key in this panel because I know, Mr. Speaker, sir, that as chair of the Justice Committee, you have spoken to it, that we need the Law Society to be incorporated in this panel so that they guide the legal question beyond the political in the selection process of the commissioners. I'm sure, Mr. Speaker, sir, that commissioners of IEBC should be able to deliver so that we do not, in every 5-year cycle, review or amend the IEBC Act. All amendments, Mr. Speaker, sir, to the IEBC Act should be amendments that have longevity and that go beyond the momentary interests of politicians serving in a parliamentary cycle in 5 years. So that is why I support some of these amendments, because they give life to the democratization of IEBC. The choice of a secretary for a term of 4 years, renewable, Mr. Speaker, sir, is a term that speaks to an IEBC that can deliver, and an IEBC that does not hold elections. And after holding the elections, Mr. Speaker, sir, we have a month or two of maandamano. We do not want to see that again happen in this country, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, these amendments, as we support as Senate, and as we second what the National Assembly has done, Mr. Speaker, sir, should be undertaken without a political framework. I am alive, Mr. Speaker, to the fact that there are wards that need by elections to be undertaken. I'm alive that the IEBC has not had quorum. And that is the reason, Mr. Speaker, sir, that a quorum of 5 as proposed by a clear act, because in the last election petition cycle, we had interpretation questions. And Mr. Speaker, sir, I speak for the IEBC because the IEBC is my client. And therefore, I'm alive to the several legal questions that we have had to litigate. And when law comes to straighten out or to clear these questions that have been the subject of litigation, then I can only support Mr. Speaker, sir, both as a member of this House, as an advocate. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Professor Senator Tom Ojienda.